In this video, we're going to be covering content marketing for realtors. If you're new here, my name is Jeff Adolfi. I'm a marketing consultant that helps realtors master paid ads. I do offer a one-on-one consulting service as well as done-for-you services, so if you're interested in those, then click the link down below. But without further ado, let's get right into the video. So in this presentation, we will be covering content marketing for realtors. So what is content marketing? So content marketing is focused on creating and distributing valuable content. And there's really three main pillars. The first one being provide value. The second one is build relationships. And the third one is establishing authority. So you get to provide value through your content, and there's many different ways to provide that value. We'll get into those ways a little bit later. But you provide value. With that value, you start building relationships. The more you post, the more value you give over time, the more relationships you will build. And with that comes the authority. So people will look to you as an authority in your field, and that will build a lot of trust and credibility, which is always good. And the importance of content marketing is to capture attention. Now, in the introductory presentation, I said that content is king, and I also said that attention is the new currency. And as you could probably tell, people's attention spans are getting much shorter in this world of social media. Content is getting shorter and shorter. A couple years ago, people used to go crazy for long form content, and nowadays it's more so the short form content that's really taking off, and you have to be able to adapt to that. Make an effort to capture your prospect's attention, regardless of the method you use to do so. So that could be on social media, blog posts, podcasts, really anything. And once you're able to do this on a consistent basis and continue providing value, you will build trust with your prospects and with your audience. And the only way to get that trust is to constantly deliver relevant content. A category that always works well for this is education. So, educational content, as you will see, is a really, really nice way to build some trust. And you essentially will guide the customer on their journey. So, you'll start from their initial awareness, them just finding out about you or about the home buying or home selling process in general, all the way up until making a decision. So it's really a long-term process, and you have to nurture them throughout the whole way with your content. So now there's three main ways that this differs from traditional advertising. So the first one is that you solely focus on education, just providing as much value as you possibly can. The point of content marketing is to be informative. So your content should always be addressing your audience's needs or concerns or questions. So that way they feel safe with you, they look at you as the expert, and they'd have no issue working with you in the future. And a good way to do this is by fostering engagement. You want a lot of your content to be interactive. So an example could be on Instagram, you could have Q&As, polls on your stories, things like that, or maybe even surveys if you're using a different platform. All these types of things are good ways to get engagement with your audience, actually interact with them, because the interaction will go a very, very long way. And as I mentioned in the previous slide, you want to be nurturing these relationships over a long period of time. You want to be posting over a long period of time, because the first time someone sees you, they may not work with you. But after a while, they may follow you on social media or subscribe to your blog. And over time, they will see that you know what you're talking about. You answered all the questions that they ever had. You addressed any of their concerns, and they will feel comfortable with you, which is your main goal. Because when someone's either buying or selling a home, this involves a lot of money and a lot of emotions. So they want to feel comfortable with you. Now we're going to get into the types of content that you can post. So the first one is property showcase. Now for this, you're going to want to use either high quality images or videos. You want to showcase the property in a visually appealing manner. So the lighting has to be good quality. Definitely make sure to highlight the unique features and definitely capture the hot spots in the home, maybe the backyard, kitchen, bathrooms, master bedroom, basement, the things that people want to see initially. Then after you get that stuff out the way, you can maybe get into the neighborhood, schooling, things to do around the city or the town. And now video walkthroughs. Videos do a much better job of capturing the essence of the home. It helps the viewer to understand the spacing of the house, really understand what the floor plan is like, and it's much more immersive than just pictures. Now, educational content. So a really good one is a neighborhood guide, highlight different neighborhoods in the city, different amenities in the neighborhoods, the nearby schools, local attractions, local businesses. I mentioned this in one of the presentations that a really good thing to do is partner with local businesses. A collaboration like that could really be nice and really give the viewer a feel of what the neighborhood is like, what the people are like, and start developing a connection between the viewer and the neighborhood. And again, this will also position yourself as a local expert, someone who really knows the neighborhood, knows the city. It'll provide more comfort to the viewer or the prospect, because they know that they're dealing with someone that actually knows what they're talking about and knows their way around the neighborhood. And then obviously buying and selling tips. Always continue to give practical advice on the buying and selling process. Keep them up to date with market trends, different financing options, and negotiation strategies. And the market trends part is also really important. This is where they're going to get a lot of value. So keep them up to date with whatever's going on, relevant trends, if there's upcoming developments in that neighborhood. And then also keep the investors in mind. If you know of some potential investment opportunities, then definitely make that known. And here is the first strategy for content marketing. So blogging is a really good way to establish yourself as a local authority. It can improve your search engine rankings, build a loyal audience, and then you could also diversify your content with it. So again, regular blog posts allow you to showcase your knowledge and expertise in the industry, and you could cover a wide range of topics. If you're someone who likes to write, then this is a really good way to market yourself and your services. And with this, the more blogs you write, the higher your website will rank on Google. So if you're consistently providing fresh and relevant content, then that will be a huge help. Make sure your blog posts are optimized, you have good keywords in there, good headlines, good visuals, and this will make it easier for potential clients to find you. Make sure you're addressing popular questions, popular concerns, so that when people search for those concerns or questions, they will find your blog post, in effect, leading them to your website. And as long as you remain consistent, you'll have people that want to follow you. So you'll build a loyal audience. Maybe they could subscribe to your blog post or newsletter, or maybe they can subscribe to your email list to keep getting your updates and your articles. So that's a good way to build up your lead database. And since they are a loyal audience and they're constantly returning to your articles, that will warm them up and they may potentially become a client in the future. And if not, they could always refer you to someone. So that's also nice. And with blogs, there's a lot of different ways you can blog, include images, videos, charts, a lot of visuals, a lot of data. This is really nice so that your content doesn't become boring and it will appeal to a wide range of people. Now we have video marketing. So as we discussed before, property walkthroughs, really popular, really nice, really immersive. It's much better than pictures. So if you can do this whenever possible, definitely do it. Client testimonials. Now you could either have pictures for this or videos if you can get your client to do a video. Not everyone's comfortable on video, so just keep that in mind. So a video is nice, but any type of testimonial you can get, then that's also nice. Even if it's just a written testimonial, you could just screenshot that and then put it in your video. So that's one way to do it. So you always want to include some social proof. Then, as we mentioned again, an educational series. Now, you could do this on video, through blogs, whatever you're more comfortable with, but you definitely want to have an educational component to your marketing strategies. More popular topics include like home buying guides, investment strategies, and industry insights. And then, like I mentioned before, you could also do neighborhood guides, maybe collab with local businesses, interview people, interview other experts. Really get creative with this and try to find as many topics as you can. And then once you have about 5 to 10 topics, you can make a plethora of videos with those topics. There's so many questions that someone could ask for each topic. So you just make one video per question, do something like that. And as for something like industry insights, this is something that's constantly changing. So for this topic, you will never run out of content. And as far as platform, there's many different platforms that you can use. If you want to do videos, then YouTube is always nice. You can put more long form content on here. And then from your long form content, you could chop it up and get some shorts or some TikToks out of that. And then just post those short form content pieces on YouTube Shorts, IG Reels, and TikTok. So just understand what you're getting into. Different platforms cater to different audiences. So something like TikTok might cater to a younger demographic. So just keep that in mind. Podcasting. Now, this one is less common, but this is a really, really powerful strategy. Listening to a podcast is really convenient. People can listen to them on their way to work, while they work out, while they cook, while they just do stuff around the house. A lot of people actually prefer podcasts. They don't want to just sit around looking at videos all day. You can create a series out of this. So some series ideas. You can interview industry experts. You could answer common real estate questions and then also share success stories. People will find these really valuable. And the reason I said content is king earlier is because when you have something like this, a digital asset, a podcast, personal brand, it will never die. It's not like ads. Once you stop spending money on ads, then the leads just stop. Content compounds over time. So you can record a podcast today, or maybe make a social media post or a YouTube video today. 2 to 3 years from now, people will still be liking it, still be listening to it, and still be commenting on it. So whether you choose to blog, do video marketing, or podcasting, it really doesn't matter. Just pick one and just stick to it. And I promise you, you will see results. Organic marketing does take time. It's a slower process than ads, but over time, it will be so worth it. And then the last point, it's accessible and consumable. Like I said, people could listen to it when they're commuting, exercising, or really just doing anything. Now, content distribution. So you want to have a schedule. You don't have to pick a schedule that's overwhelming, but whatever schedule you do pick, make sure to stick with it. So if you want to post once a week, post on the same day every single week. These platforms love consistent content creators. So once they pick up that you're a consistent poster, they will start pushing your content more. And then within your content, you want to have some call to actions. So these call to actions should be to get people to like, comment, and share. Sharing is really big because once they post your thing on their story or they just share it with their friends and send it to people, this is how you start to grow exponentially. And you don't have to go overboard with it. Just saying to share your content one time is enough. You could do it more depending on how long it is, but just saying it, just telling them to share your content makes a huge difference. So just be explicit about it. And then utilizing multiple platforms is also really nice. You cater to different audiences. So, like I said earlier, TikTok has a younger demographic. Facebook and Instagram might be an older demographic. So, you want to be posting content on all of those platforms so that all of your bases are covered. Now, the importance of interactive content. You can do quizzes and polls, contests and giveaways, live Q&A sessions, and anything you could think of to foster engagement. So you can quiz people on what's going on in the market, test their knowledge, see what they know, see what they don't know, and this will also give you some ideas for your content. And then contests and giveaways, obviously this is a really good way to get engagement. If someone wants to participate, then they will be forced to engage. That might mean following you or subscribing to you, liking a post or commenting or using a hashtag. And if you do use a hashtag, make sure it's branded. So it can just be your name, realtor, or maybe bought with or sold with, and then your name, so that whenever someone uses it or searches it, they will only see your content. So that's a nice little hack. Live Q&As are good because you get to answer questions and interact with your audience in real time. And then with all of this, you just end up building a community, which will contribute to your long-term relationships and brand loyalty. And then with everything that you do, you're always going to want to look at your numbers. So look at your analytics, see what's working, see what's not. That can include website traffic, social media engagement, so likes, follower growth, comments, things like that, shares, lead conversion, so how many people are actually signing up to your email list or submitting a lead form with their name, phone, and email. And you want to use these numbers to refine your content. So if you post something and you see that it does better than another post in terms of numbers like likes and shares, then you want to start posting that type of content more. Maybe the audio was better, or maybe you had better lighting, better visuals, stuff like this. So pay attention to all of this. And these platforms, they'll give you enough data for you to know what's going on. You're not really going to need any external tools. That's a little too advanced. So just focus on the numbers that the platforms give you for now. And then later on down the line, you might be able to use some external tools if you want to get more advanced. And now for your actionable next steps. So, number one, I want you to identify your ideal client and really understand them, their preferences, challenges, and interests. Write down 10 content ideas that audience would find valuable. Then, using one of those ideas, create your first blog post or social media post. And that social media post could be either a picture or a video, but I always recommend a video. If it is a video, then post it on Instagram Reels or TikTok if it's shorter form. And if it's longer form, which is fine, then post that on YouTube. And then later on, you could chop up that long form video into some short form content. So that's pretty much it for this presentation, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.